The government has unveiled a $1.9 billion boost for corrections, including funding for more than 800 extra beds at Waikeria prison.
Law and order is one of three pillars of the National's Back on Track plan. But as political editor Jenna Lynch reports, they struggled to get their numbers right.
Law and order burnt to a crisp. The Waikeria prison riot saw prisoners rampage on the rooftops in the summer of 2020, burning the high security unit to the ground, causing $50 million in damage. Adding to the need at an out-of-date prison, Waikeria was already in line for a 500-bed high security facility announced way back in 2018, but still not completed, partly due to COVID. And now the prison is expanding.
The government is investing $1.9 billion in corrections to deliver more frontline corrections officers, more prison capacity and more support for offenders to turn away from a life of crime.
As the government amps up its tough on crime talk, it's boasting funding to add 810 new beds at Waikeria, except all is not as it seems.
The 810 new beds, are they on top of the 500 that are already being built at Waikeria?
No.
So you're only doing 200 extra beds, not 800 extra beds?
No.
There's 800 extra beds going into the system.
But 600 of them were funded by the Labor government.
Just 200 more beds, they say, not 800.
I think what we're doing is we're restating our commitment as the incoming government to get that delivered.
The government couldn't say how much the total prison capacity would increase by as compared to current capacity.
So what is the current capacity of Waikeria prison?
So at the moment the Waikeria prison hasn't been delivered. So it won't have...
There are prisoners at Waikeria right now, aren't there?
So that's the old prison. I'm talking about the new prison. I'll have to check on those numbers.
Nor could it say how much the extension would cost.
How much is that extra 200 beds going to cost?
Well, I mean, I can't give you a number now because it's commercially sensitive.
It's budget.
The PM then wrongly suggested that the $1.9 billion was all operating expense. That means not new buildings.
Yes, it's all operating.
So none of it's for actually building the buildings?
Well, in that budget is the money that we need to expand Waikeria by 810 beds, and that money is also the money that we need to make sure that we are expanding the number of prison officers and corrections officers that we've got.
Quickly clarified.
Can I just absolutely double check you on that? Is there no capital funding in that?
No, so the capital funding is inside the $1.9 billion.
The announcement also includes $484 million in savings that the government has redirected from the back office to the front line. That'll pay for 685 more corrections staff, 470 of them prison officers, while $78 million will be spent on rehab for remand prisoners.
But all of this is to say that safety and victims are clearly this government's priority.
Serious about tough on crime, just not so serious about knowing the numbers.
OK, well, Jenna joins us now. Kia ora, Jenna. So they've just sent you some new numbers. Is this a get-out-of-jail card?
That was one of the worst performances I have seen in this theatre. Definitely the worst performance at a press conference by this government. Journalists left this room confused because there was no clarity on those numbers. And in fact, what the minister was saying was completely wrong, because just after the Prime Minister and his minister left the podium, into the email inbox came a clarification statement. Here are the correct figures. So right now there are 455 beds at Waikeria prison. The 600 that Labor funded will be ready for use next year. The 810 are on top of that, bringing the total capacity at Waikeria prison to over 1,800. That is mega prison levels, basically what Labor cancelled when it came into power. This is supposed to be National's strong suit stuff, crime and numbers. Mark Mitchell had clearly done the reading up on the lines. He'd done the homework on the spin, but not on the substance. It was a good lesson for the Minister to be across the detail, and he will be under no illusion that his performance today was subpar.
Jenna, tēnā koe.